You do remember. That's cool. You're an interesting person. Interesting. Oh, well. Interesting. How's Halalu? The future. Yes, well. Well, what else do you have to say? What about his powers? Plans. Okay, good. Defenses. Winning. He's winning, is he? That's Dagoth. Never heard of that. Well, a little bit, but... interesting. So it's been quite a while since I've actually played this game, first of all. And usually when I play it, I don't even read this part anymore because I already read it like once or twice before. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting to read all that again. Well, this is worth a lot. And it's really awesome. But I need to drop some of this stuff, eat some of this, have some of this. Can get rid of that. 1 more pound. Well, just repair and get rid of anything else I don't need. That should do it. Okay, which one of these do I already have? Plan to defeat Dagoth. Yeah, so it's talking about raids against certain things. Salt of Gate Citadel Viminel, or however you pronounce it. Gate Citadel Odrosal. And then an assault on Citadel Dagoth. And Tribunal Ordinators and Buoyant Armigers are going to help, but only at the Ghost Gate fenced thingy. Raids upon the Ash Vampire Citadels. So we're going to be taking care of some people there, it looks like. Phase 3. Oh, it's going into a little more detail of what these... Okay, that's cool. And Thunder's going to be in there. Keening's going to be in that place. And once we get those, or Adrian get those, then he can go to the Dagoth place and then he can defeat Dagoth. Let's see it. Seems chances and decision to direct thought. Tribunal. So they've just felt like doing kind of a surprise attack, it seems like. And Nervarine, that would be Adrian, should be careful and do things step by step. Okay. I'm gonna use these Kagranax tools against Dagoth. And Dagoth's superpowers come from some strange heart. Okay, so our character, Lord Nerevar and Dagoth were left to guarded tools long ago. Nerevar left to consult with his advisors, being Vivek, Amalexi, and I think the other one was Sil or something. Dagoth then used it and became corrupt. Sil discovered the secrets. Eventually the three went there to become mortal as well, or immortal. They became the Tribunal. They attacked him, but Dagoth survived, for he was able to make a connection with the heart, becoming immortal, so to speak. Technically not really, because you can destroy him. Well, actually you have to destroy the heart, but whatever. So there's 3 steps. A process with the heart. They must wear Wraith Guard, strike the heart with the hammer, thunder, causing it to make a pure tone, and the wearer must strike the heart with blade, and that will give them immortality and a divine nature, but they will apparently not teach us the 3rd step. So, I mean, Adrian himself wouldn't want that anyways. He wouldn't really care. But I, as a player, would love to be able to. And doing all that will destroy the enchantments on the heart, and will also stop the corrupt things happening, and the blight on Morrowind will all end. They're basically trusting Nervarine to not listen to Dagoth, which is not very difficult because he doesn't offer anything anyways. And he's not going to expect us to destroy the heart, so he wouldn't dare himself. And he wouldn't believe anybody would want to do such a thing, really. So therefore they believe he wants to control the heart. And then they're talking about it may be possible to pretend like they're gonna help him, but then betray him later. But he would probably expect something. Then they're saying that they don't expect Nerevar to do anything, but they basically hope we do. And they're basically trusting Nerevarine dude to not get a part of the power. Basically. Interesting. Don't really want the power anyways, but whatever. Could have had a little bit more trust in me, I would think. Battle of Red Mountain and the Rise and Fall of the Tribunal. Following is a transcript of the words of Lord Vivek, addressed to a dissident priest, Malor Amain, who confronted Vivek with the Ashlander tradition surrounding the Battle of Red Mountain. Alright. So the Chimera first abandoned the herds of tins. So basically they were kind of the same as the Dunmer, but, well, the Chimera were the Dark Elves, but whatever. Chimera and Dwemer did not get along. Dwemer being the dwarves. I'm very, very, very interested in the dwarves. But then the Nords came, and the Dark Elves and the dwarves got together to get rid of the Nords. So Nerevar was basically married to Almalexia, and his favorite counselor, Sothasil, were there to help him. They didn't believe that Chimera and Dwemer could have a peace, but they kind of did. Dagath was the Nerevarines' best friend, basically. He made a trip to Holamayan, which is where the dissident priests are now, and he wanted to confirm all that Dagath said was true, because apparently his new friends in the Dwemer were using these tools to do things, but the king apparently didn't know, but I don't think we know that in this. I'm just kind of remembering stuff. Nerevar went back to the Dwemer to try and make a peace again, but that didn't work out, and he and the Dumak and the Dwarf King started fighting. Kagranak turned his tools upon the heart, and Nerevar said he saw Kragnak and all his Dwemer companions at once disappear from the world. But the tools remained, and Dagath seized them and carried them to Nerevar, saying, "That fool Kragnak has destroyed his own people with these things. We should destroy them right away, lest they fall into the wrong hands." So apparently Dagath was once a good person that was corrupted by the tools, apparently. Creepy. Nerevar told Dagath to stay and protect the heart chamber until he returned. Nerevar then left the Red Mountain. Getting counsel from the three, they decided to preserve the tools to help the Chimera, and Nerevar didn't really want to do that, and so they swore a solemn oath to never use the tools in a profane manner, blah blah blah, a lot of more blah blah blah. Dagath and his retainers escaped. They gained the tools, and so they still studied them. For many years they kept their oaths. But during the time in secret, Sothasil was trying to learn how to use them, and he discovered, the three of them decided to use it and Once they found their powers, this person, Azura, she appeared and cursed them for their supposed forsworn oath. She swore that Nervar would be her champion, basically. Change things. But, anyways, in that moment, the Chimmer were all changed into the Dunmer, also known as the Dark Elves, and their skins were changed, basically. And fire as eyes, as they say, basically red eyes. A lot of people apparently were afraid of their new faces, but Sosa Sill spoke to him, saying it wasn't a curse but a blessing, and so they became even more, egotistical about their own selves. Red Mountain, Daggett Earth was still alive. Basically biding his time, it looks like. And then soon, the Western Empire came upon them, and yeah, I don't know. I think that one I already have. Daggett Earth's plans. The following documents comes from interrogation of sleepers and other Sixth House cultists, from studies of manuscripts written by cultists and victims of dream-induced mania. So basically, Daggett Earth's power is, he wants to establish a theocracy in Morrowind based on worship of the newborn god, whatever. Establish the ancient heirs of House Dagoth as god priests. He wants to expose the false worship of the tribunal and destroy the ecclesiastical authority and political power of the temple. Get rid of all other races out of Morrowind except for the Dunmer, apparently. So he's a racist also. Destroy the, well, not destroy it, but get the Empire away from Morrowind. Recover territories that was stolen by Skyrim and Argonia. And then basically push their worship upon other people. Okay. They want to, and this is just describing in more detail the phases that they want to go through. I'm glad I decided not to read all this. I was about to, and then I was just like, man, this would take forever. It's already taken a long time, and I'm just skimming through it. So now we're gonna see, they're gonna look into what he thinks about, and basically, apparently, Daggett Earth thinks on a large time scale, for the most part. He thinks only obstacles of mythic scale are worth consideration. With the tribunals, the Vivek, Amalexi, and Sothasil losing Sundern Kinning, he believes that he has gained a strategic step up. I guess I'll use that word. He kind of sees the Empire as a threat, but not as much as the Nerevar thing. The Daedra represent no coherent obstacle to Daggett Earth, but he still remains a bit concerned about them. And the incarnate of Saint Nerevar that previously defeated him, is basically an obsessed threat that Dagoth has. At the same time, long ago, they were once friends, so he believes he can talk him out of it. Recent timescale of his activities. Second era 882, he was still dreaming. Same year, he awakens. Same year, the tribunal arrive at the Red Mountain to their annual ritual bathing, so to speak, in the power, but he stops them and they lose the tools. And so the tribunal starts sending campaigns up to the Red Mountain to try and drive back Dagoth, but they fail. Kogaroon becomes another 6th house base. They start finding bases near Narmok and other places. 6th house cultists are in every town in Vardenville. Damn. Alexi and Cecil lose the artifacts. Oh, I thought they lost it long ago. Whatever. They lose them to different people. And they were forced to retreat. And they keep growing weaker. Third era 426 to 427. They start assassinating people in House Halalu and other places. No one has gained entrance to the Heart Chamber for a long time. Interesting. And what about this? Nerevar at Red Mountain. And the following is writing from the Tribunal Temple, talking about how basically they killed Nerevar. Resdane, present-day Morrowind, was contested ground between two very different types of mare, the Chimmer who worshipped Daedra, and the Dwemer, who worshipped basically science and magic combined. And two warred with each other. Daedra are not any better, to be quite honest. The Adra apparently are, if I remember correctly. Two heroes, one from the Chimmer and one from the Dwemer, Doral Nerevar and Dumek Dwarf Orc, not oak. It's not a tree. So his queen, Amalexia, Cecil, and Vivek didn't think the peace would last. Dagoth discovered the tools and all that stuff. Tribunal urged Nerevar to make war on the dwarves. Nerevar didn't want to do that because Dumek was a friend. And he asked if what Dagoth said was true, but the people kept a secret from the king, so he didn't know about it, so he's like, no, it didn't happen. Nerevar was angered that his friend lied to him, so he went back there and kept saying you shouldn't worship the heart of Lorkharn or whatever. Of course, Dumek was proud and didn't know anything about it, but he still didn't like this, so they started a war. Kind of sad, basically. Soon, Nerevar and the Dwarf King, Dumek, both fell from grievous wounds. I think the Dwarf King actually died, but Nerevar didn't, at least not right away. Nerevar told Dagoth-Ur to protect the tools and Heart Chamber until he got back. Dagoth-Ur wanted to destroy them, but apparently Nerevar was confused by his wounds and sorrow, and he went back to counsel from Sothasil, his wife Amalexia, and Vivek. They wanted to keep him, supposedly for the good. Amalexia used poison candles, Sothasil used poison robes, and Vivek used poison invocations, and thus they did kill Nerevar. She then cursed, Azura cursed the tribunal for what they did, and that Nerevar would come back and make things right, but they basically laughed at her. They said they were going to be the new gods, and that the Chimera people would forget their old worship. Azura knew this would be true, and that it would take a long time before her power would come back to bring Nerevar back. And so she cursed them, and they became known as the Dunmer, with dark skin and red eyes. Tribunal went into Red Mountain, met with Dagoth-Ur, and he saw what had happened. He tried to avenge Nerevar, but he was killed apparently by them too. Thousands of years after, geez, it's been a long time since that happened, Tribunal were still the gods of the people. Well, that was interesting. You did kill me. Or maybe whoever I was once. Interesting. Alright. Let's put down a save here, because that was save worthy.